Okay, we're doing this. All right, here we are. I'm finally doing this. I am finally starting a BookTube. I have truly been putting this off for probably like 2 years. Hi, I'm Charity. If you're new here, which everyone is because this is my first video, I'm an avid reader. I'm 25 years old and I absolutely love talking about books. Why not hop on YouTube, on BookTube, where there are hundreds, if not thousands, of wonderful creatives and readers just like me who can talk and yap about books. So I'm gonna do a bit of a newbie book tag. I feel like everyone does this, so I'm gonna bring my own unique personality because, listen, sometimes I don't understand what's going on in my brain and I need other people to see that. I don't want to just tell you what books I like. I want you to actually know who I am as a reader, and I want to bring my perspective in how books have touched me, how books have changed me, my true and honest thoughts about books, because let me tell you, I will viscerally react to whatever book it is that I'm reading. I feel very deeply when I read, and that will probably come up again later. Let's just do this the unfiltered and honest way, because that's just who I am as a person. I'm not going to try to mask what I think about a book just because it's popular. You're not gonna find that, because I'm gonna have my own opinion about things, and that's just who I am. So, without further ado, let's talk about books. I've always turned to books to make sense of the world ever since I was a little girl. I was an avid reader growing up, but I was a reader with extreme anxiety, so I always feared picking up a new book. I would just keep rereading the same comfort reads as a child. Props to my mom. She would sit down with me, and whether it was the new Boxcar Children book, a new Nancy Drew book, she would sit down with me and read the first 1 or 2 chapters with me, and then at that point, I was hooked, and then I would read the rest of the book, however long it took. So I have to give props to my mom because she really encouraged me to be a reader growing up, and for that I'll forever be grateful. I've always turned to books to make sense of the world, that being said. I've looked at them for comfort, for adventure, to uplift my faith. So now I want to create a space where those stories and the impact that books can make matter just as much as a star rating. I want to build a corner of the internet where we can talk about books and the way they move us, not just what we thought of them. Because to be human, you have to feel emotion. And let me tell you, I feel things deeply. I'll probably say 1,000 times. So that's what we're going to be on here doing. And I hope you enjoy that. Honestly, my shelves are a little all over the place. You will see this background change a million times. This isn't even my whole book collection. That's in my back room because I like to keep my living room area a little bit aesthetic. You'll see some history books back here, one of my favorite Christian authors. I've got some nonfiction. Over there, I've got some cozy fantasy reads for fall. I've got more history. I've got classics. You're gonna see a lot on here. Fantasy is one of my favorites, fantasy and romance. I absolutely love escaping into another world. But I also like to balance that with understanding and growing in reality with some nonfiction, self-help, history, understanding how the past has affected where we are now. You'll see a mixture of everything. I love supporting small and indie authors as well. I already have some plans for some reading vlogs in the future, only supporting indie authors because I think it's very important that we do support those small authors. And if you are a small author, hi, let me know about your book because I will 100% incorporate that in my content. I want to support you. Some of the most powerful stories we hear come from people we've never heard of before, and that's why it's so important to not just focus on what's the most trending book right now, but finding unique stories, because that's how you can really learn and grow as a reader, I think. Ultimately, the thing that I care about most is books that make me feel deeply, whether that is through laughter, whether that is through joy, sadness, anger. I want a book that's going to make me feel deeply. My reviews are going to be more than just what happened in the book. It's going to be my thoughts and feeling the emotional impact that a book could leave, the way it lingers, if I'm still thinking about it, because that really does matter. And for some books, the questions it asks of me, did it challenge me? Did it challenge me to think about the world differently? That's also really important. I focus on impact. While I will have star ratings, those star ratings could change. I like to think of a book, did it change me? Did it make me think about the world differently? Did it make me think about my interactions with people differently? Did it make me think differently about my faith, my relationships? That's going to be the heartbeat of my reviews. Not if a book was objectively good, but I want to share how a book touched me. I want to invite you to express what you thought. Did you like this book because it did have an effect on you? Did it really not impact you that much and that's why you didn't like it? I'm here for open discourse. You do not have to agree with me and I do not have to agree with you. That's the beauty of being book readers. Reading is subjective. You're going to have a different idea than I did about a book and you're going to get a completely different message out of some books. And I absolutely love that because your opinion could affect how I look at the book. And I love that because we should also be open to change our opinions and grow. That's what makes a community and not just a channel. And that's what I want. I want a community. Listen, I am not perfect. I'm going to be messy. I'm going to make mistakes. Books don't just entertain me. Books that I truly love stay with me and shape who I am as a person. And I think that's what all books should do. And if it doesn't do that, then maybe that's why it's not my favorite book, if we're being honest. I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to be open and honest and real and messy. And I think that's what it should be. And if you are looking for that kind of content, then just go ahead and subscribe now because I have so many fun ideas planned. I have so many videos already scripted and ready to film. Let's talk about the book that got me back into reading, one of my all-time favorite books and the last book I read, so you can kind of know where I am in my reading journey. First up, let's talk about the book that got me back into reading, and I have to credit Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I absolutely love this book. I read this book, I want to say November of 2023, and this really just sparked my love for fantasy. I kind of stopped reading when I graduated high school just because college, I became a teacher, that was a lot, and I didn't really have a lot of energy to read. So in 2023, I picked up Assistant to the Villain because it just looked like something I would enjoy. It's about a villain who's seeking a level-headed assistant and the adventure that they go on. This is the first, and I believe it's going to be a quartet. 3 books are out right now, and she just announced the 4th book. I'm not sure if there's any after that. It was so good. I rated it 5 stars, and the absolute sad thing is that I have not continued the series. Honestly, I'm so disappointed in myself that I haven't continued the series, but I kind of want to wait for everything to come out before I continue because I do not do well with cliffhangers. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. I do not do well with cliffhangers. So I tend to wait for a full series to be out. I think the reason why I'm like that is because of this book, because I didn't realize that this was the series. I didn't know what I was doing back then. And so I just picked this up because I thought it looked interesting. And I think I had seen a video on Book Talk or something like that. And I just remember the reaction I had to the fact that this book ended on like a pretty big cliffhanger and I could not function. I literally like laid on my couch in our basement and just like stared at the ceiling for a few minutes because I could not believe that I just read the ending to this book and I had to wait an entire year for the next book to come out. And then I've continued to buy the series, but I haven't continued reading it because I want the whole story to be complete before I do. There's that. Let's talk about one of my all-time favorite books right now. And I always leave this open to change because I'm always reading something new. But let me tell you that this took the cake, and it is, honestly, is it 3 books? Yes, but I'm only showing you 1 book because I don't want to hold all 3 books right now. But we're talking the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. This book literally changed my brain chemistry, and this series changed my brain chemistry. Actually, pause. Because I have to talk about it. And if you've read this, you understand. Hero of Ages is actually probably my favorite book of the entire year, but we're including the entire trilogy, Mistborn, Well of Ascension, and Hero of Ages. This book is listen. I literally have never experienced, oh my goodness, the actual experience of reading this. I wish that, like, I would probably sell my right and left arms to be able to read this again for the first time. I I get weepy still. Oh my goodness. I still get weepy when I think about it. The best conclusion to a fantasy story, to a fantasy series I've ever read. Truly impeccable. He has become one of my favorite authors. I've continued to read his books this year. But it is such a terrific story, such flawed characters, and yet characters that you love. A beautiful love story. One of the best endings I've personally ever read. Truly incredible. The Mistborn trilogy is absolutely one of my favorite books of all time. The last book that I actually just finished is Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. I rated this 4.25 stars. I've only ever read Babel by R.F. Kuang, and that was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it, but I did just finish Katabasis. If you haven't seen any talk about this, it's about two grad students who travel to the underworld to save their professor so that he can write a recommendation, and I thought that this book was absolutely beautiful. It is a story of literally pulling yourself out of the darkest place you've ever been. It speaks on mental health, it speaks on academia, it's very tongue-in-cheek, very fun. And can we appreciate? Look at this. Look at this book. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Are you kidding me? And then we've got some absolutely beautiful sprayed edges. I'm assuming you can see this because my iPad turned off, so I can't see the screen. Absolutely beautiful book. And it was a very fun read. I'm sure I will include this in my reading wrap-ups, so you'll hear more thoughts about that. Listen guys, that's me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're still here, please make sure you like and subscribe. I would love to have you join our little corner of the internet, and I just cannot wait to continue posting on here. If you're still here, I would absolutely love to see the books that have changed you as a reader. What's your all-time favorite book? What book got you back into reading? What's the last book you read? I would love to hear. I would love to let you know if I've read them and just talk about books with you. Please like and subscribe because I'm gonna try to be here at least once a week, giving you just a peek into my life as a reader and my opinions on books. I love you so, so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Can't believe we're doing this. Y'all, this is crazy. And first off, what kind of books do you love? Slide.